Like damn, she wanna afford to touch me. I say I want it, and she got it.
What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's dive into Smackdown from August the 2nd, 2024. An okay show for the most part. Wasn't good, wasn't bad. It was just okay. So we kick the show off with Cody Rhodes. He comes out to a massive ovation, like always. He gets on the mic and he calls out Solo Sikoa. He's the one that he wants to talk to. Solo comes out. He wants the crowd to acknowledge him. Cody says he sees it. He knows that Solo has a chip on his shoulder. Cody says Solo is a little brother, as is he. It's not easy to do what Solo is trying to do, becoming the tribal chief. From a distance, he almost admires it. But once all the cinema is over, there's an old expression. Tomorrow, the bell's going to ring. And when it rings, Solo will find out he has nothing to lose, and Cody has everything on the line. Solo asks Cody if he's done because he's wasting his time, and he's running out of patience. Cody says he's not done. Cody says Solo is a self-appointed tribal chief while he's an actual champion. He sits on a throne thanks to men like Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, and if he loses, he can't repay their debt. He doesn't intend to lose. He intends to pay them back with Solo's blood. I love that. That was good. I was like, oh, shit, that's nice. I like that. Really good stuff there. Cody can cut a mean promo. Like, that was nasty. Cody says he intends to do what he did to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania in a Bloodline Rules match. Solo tells him that Cody beat a weak tribal chief at WrestleMania. Solo says that he's not weak. He's the opposite. He's dangerous. And at SummerSlam, he's going to show Cody how dangerous he is. Solo says Cody talks a big game. Solo asks him to make tomorrow night a Bloodline Rules match. And he's saying that the Bloodline, they jumped the barricade that surrounded the ring. Cody retorts. He tells the Bloodline he's not scared of them. He calls Jacob Fatu a dumb son of a bitch. The rest of the Bloodline members, they get on the apron. Solo says if he wanted to, he could just snap his fingers and all three men would tear Cody apart, but he doesn't want to do that tonight. The tag team titles come back to the Bloodline tonight, and at SummerSlam, so does the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship. Cody says he gets it. They all hate Cody Rhodes, but he does not have to fight his family. All he has to do is defeat the tribal chief. And since the tribal chief is not here, he'll settle for the wannabe. That was great, and that was the end of the promo. Nice stuff there. I enjoyed it. Perfect. I'm glad that we got a stipulation. This is what I've asked for. I figured we were going to get Bloodline Rules anyway. But doing the same match 3 months out, to me, that's fine. I was thinking they were going to go from like maybe a last man standing match. You could still get the same results. But this makes sense too. And this just sets up the inevitable returns of Roman Reigns and Jimmy Uso. They're going to back Cody up. I think that would be nice. We could see the Motor City Machine Guns get involved, but I doubt it. But definitely Jimmy and Roman Reigns are definitely going to help out Cody, and I can't wait. Cleveland is going to explode when Roman comes out. They're going to explode, and I can't wait for that. It's going to be massive. So really good stuff. Moving on. So this leads us into the first match of the night. A long match between Carmelo Hayes and Andrade. It was a rematch from 2 weeks ago. Andrade gets the win via a roll-up. This was a long match. This lasted about a good 15 minutes. I would say closer to 18 minutes. This was really long. And Andrade won via the roll-up. You could have done that in about maybe 10 minutes, if we're being honest. So Carmelo Hayes is flat on his back once again, and he's constantly looking up at the lights all the time. I have no idea why Triple H even brought him on the main roster. It makes no damn sense. It's acted quite stupid. I hate to say this. I wish that Carmelo Hayes was back in NXT. Triple H has literally done nothing with Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes has been on the main roster for 3 months? He's done jack shit. And it's pathetic. It's pathetic. I just don't understand. It makes zero sense. I don't get it. Again, if Triple H does not have plans for when he calls these guys up, there is no point calling these guys up. Just leave them in NXT for a while, and when you have concrete plans for them, that's when you call them up. I don't understand why Carmelo constantly loses. I just don't get it. I like Andrade. I'm a fan of his work. I always have, always will. It's just Carmelo Hayes is just there just to really be there. I don't know. Moving on. So we go backstage, and we see Legado del Fantasma. So Santos Escobar tells them that their failures last week are no indication of their future. Santos says their fortune will change tonight against Apollo Crews, and he is correct on that regard. He's correct in that regard. Santos defeats Apollo Crews. He wins via the Phantom Driver. I don't understand how Baron Corbin couldn't just take out Santos Escobar. I mean, my bad, not Santos Escobar, but Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. But it is what it is. I don't know. I don't really get what they're doing with Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. Scrap that. That's not a legit tag team. Again, I would just put Baron Corbin kind of back in NXT, or you could do Apollo back in NXT. One of those guys has to go back to NXT. The other one can stay on SmackDown. I would much rather have Apollo Crews back in NXT, and you can just keep Baron Corbin on SmackDown. I don't know, but them as a tag team, nope, not feeling it. It makes sense that Santos Escobar won it, and he continues to get a mini push of sorts. I think the mid-card will be cleared out, and it'll be a lot better once LA Knight defeats Logan Paul at SummerSlam. I think when that happens, there's a lot of heels that LA Knight can potentially feud with, and Santos Escobar is one of those heels. Moving on. So Byron Saxton, he's backstage with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. They tell Byron that they're very confident. They said they're coming back for their titles, and they're going to do just that. All right, that's fine. Cool stuff. Moving on, so Nick Aldis, he's in the ring, and he has 3 Cleveland dignitaries behind him. He introduces Logan Paul. Logan Paul comes out. He shakes their hands. Logan Paul tells him that he's home. He tells LA Knight that he's never met a man so eager to take his belt off. He tells LA Knight he has bad news because he's not his type. Logan Paul says that LA Knight will not strip him of his United States Championship in his own hometown. Logan says that he inspires the city. So, Logan says that he represents the great city. He is Cleveland. He says here the fans can relate to LA Knight, a bunch of tryhards who never made it. He tells him he only has had 2 title defenses in 273 days, but that's 2 more title defenses than LA Knight will ever have. Logan says he can't relate to the fans. He's great. He made it. He says today they're here to recognize his greatness, which is why he brought these 3 people. So Nick Aldis says he put the names of these 3 people in a Google search and he wasn't able to find anything. Logan Paul says it's time to unveil his championship banner, which will stand in the rafters of this arena. So, we see Logan Paul's picture being revealed, and it has the word "yeah" across it. So LA Knight comes out. He asks the crowd, what does the banner say, because he can't see because his shades are too bright. And they chant "yeah." So Logan Paul congratulates the fans by telling them they know how to read. LA Knight tells Logan Paul that he's close to losing his title. LA Knight says Logan Paul is from Westlake, and Logan Paul says it's a suburb of Cleveland, which is correct. LA Knight tells Logan Paul that he's worried about homecomings and banners. He'll do him a solid. So LA Knight, he goes to the back trying to look for another banner. He bumps into Pretty Deadly. They sing him a little duo. I mean, you know, they sing the musical that they're working on. I forgot they were even there still. That's nice. So LA Knight, he dips out from there. And so he continues to walk. He says he found something, and then he gets into Logan's prime truck, and Logan Paul runs to the back, and LA Knight drives away. So this is fine. This makes perfect sense. And then Logan Paul, he goes backstage with Nick Aldis, and he asks Nick Aldis what will he be doing about LA Knight, about what LA Knight just did. Okay, that was the end of the segment. This is fine. It makes perfect sense. Again, LA Knight needs to win. It's a lot better if he wins versus if he loses. It's more of an upside. You can still do a rematch later on between him and Logan Paul. Again, you can still put him with AJ Styles to continue their feud. You could do him and Carmelo Hayes, him and Santos Escobar. So the possibilities for LA Knight winning are endless if he wins, because he'll have so many contenders wanting that belt. And this is a fun little segment, so yeah. Moving on. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, they retain their women's tag team championships with the help of Blair Davenport. She gets involved. So towards the end of the match, Blair Davenport comes out, and she gets involved in the match. She jumps the barricade, and then the match is thrown out. And then Blair Davenport and the Unholy Union, they beat up Jade, Cargill, and Bianca Belair. This is nice. And they threw Jade Cargill over the announce table. This was great. I do like this. They did mention on commentary that they were all a part of the a part of the UK scene years ago. So it makes sense that they're together. This just sets up a 6-woman tag. Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, and Blair Davenport versus Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi. So this does make perfect sense. That's fine. At least Blair Davenport has something to do. So this is interesting. So we'll see where this leads, but we know that we're going to be getting a 6-woman tag in the future. Moving on. So Tiffany Stratton, she's backstage, and she's looking at her broken Money in the Bank briefcase. So in comes Nia Jax, and she gives her a new pink Money in the Bank briefcase, and the crowd pops, and I popped as well, because this was great. I loved it. This was excellent. Good stuff. Finally, I knew when Nia said last week that she was going to bring Tiffany a new briefcase, she meant it. So this is great. I love it. It makes perfect sense. Great stuff on Triple H. Good stuff. So Chelsea Green, she comes into play along with Piper Niven. Chelsea Green tells her the updates she would make to the briefcase. Chelsea Green tells Tiffany Stratton before she was pushed off the ladder at Money in the Bank, she was going to cash in. Tiffany tells Chelsea Green that green's not her color, and then she walks away. So I do like that. That's pretty cool. So I'm guessing you could do Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green for the briefcase. That could be fun, and I'm down for that. Let's go. Really good shit there. Moving on, the main event of the evening, the Bloodline, which consists of Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu, they defeat DIY to become the new WWE Tag Team Champions. Nice. Makes perfect sense. The Bloodline, they get involved. So Solo, he does a Samoan spike to Tommaso Ciampa while the referee is distracted. Gargano's able to get a quick little comeback only for a second. He hits a super kick on Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu gets right back up. He does a super kick of his own. He does his crazy-ass moonsault and a Samoan drop. And then he wins the match via an inverted DDT for the 1, 2, 3. Post-match, the Bloodline, they celebrate. And that was the show. Feel nice. Makes perfect sense. We all knew that DIY, they were going to lose anyway. So why would anybody think that they would win? I have no idea why. We all knew DIY were going to lose those belts, and it makes perfect sense that they lost to the Bloodline. This is great. This makes sense. And we'll see what happens next. But Smackdown was okay for the most part. Tiffany Stratton getting a pink briefcase is great. The Bloodline being tag team champions, excellent, makes perfect sense. I'm digging the Blair Davenport Unholy Union trio. I like that. Logan Paul and LA Knight, pretty good little stuff there. So overall, SmackDown was okay. But what did you guys think? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.